My video for February the 16th, 2020 is number 3368. The title is Georgetown Library Bans Books That Offend Students. According to Tom Ciccotta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the library system at Georgetown University announced this week that it is banning several books that students have deemed offensive. According to a report by the College Fix, Georgetown University officials have removed hundreds of books from campus libraries after students argued that they were riddled with bigotry. Student Alexandra Bowman complained to administrators after noticing that a book in one campus library prominently featured a Native American on its cover. Shortly thereafter, Georgetown's Reynolds and McCarthy libraries were almost cleared out, while some were simply raucous crime noir murder mysteries representative of the library and cultural time in which they were written. Other books included extremely problematic and damaging elements, including the glamorization of rape, including that of underage girls. Bowman said in a short comment, quote, "Completely naked women of all races were frequently featured on these books' covers. Further, many books fetishized young non-white women," end quote. I actually, when I saw that title, I thought it was going to be a politically motivated thing. I didn't realize it was going to go where at least what I read in the blurb says about the book, or about the decision of the library. Georgetown University, I had a friend that actually was a graduate of that university. It's a Catholic university in Washington, D.C. I think it's right in the city, although it might be right on the border. I can't remember whether it was actually within Washington or the District of Columbia or on the border of it, but it's in that area. And as I said, I had a friend that was a graduate there and became a doctor, and we used to communicate, but it's been a few decades since we've communicated. Anyway, there is a movement going on to censor people reading things that are considered by certain individuals as inappropriate. They've been trying to not just ban books, but ban information. They being the elite establishment, do not want people to have ideas and develop ideas that are not considered mainstream. And from my perspective, mainstream is the brainwashing. That is what the elite establishment wants people to think and wants people to be exposed to. They don't want us being exposed to anything which challenges the status quo of their illegitimate reign over the human mind. And in fact, I believe it's trying to even control our very souls. If they were to succeed, I think a lot of people would simply not comply if we were allowed to simply not comply. I don't know if it's as easy as just simply, well, just say no. Well, that would be a wonderful thing if we could stand together and just say no, because there's a whole lot more of them, and including a bunch of police and military people would just say no as well. But who knows how this thing is going to play out? I keep looking with interest at the events that seem to be unfolding in what comes across my path. Some of it is some of the information that I get, of course, is slanted one way or another, and I have to discern what the point is that they're trying to make. to the best of my ability. But I don't have all the answers, and I admit that I don't. But as far as what they're talking about, racially motivated stuff and demeaning women, I mean, I agree that that there's a lot of demeaning of women, even in our mainstream media. To me, the halftime show at the of the Super Bowl was denigrating women and very suggestive. No, I didn't watch it, but I did read a lot of the comments that other people made that apparently did watch it. And I have no desire to be titillated in such ways. I mean, if I were going to choose that, I would make the choice on my own, and it would not be something that I would want thrown at me and snuck in. And I agree that we should not be prejudicial in our viewpoint of minorities, whether those minorities are racial, whether they're tribal, whatever they are. Again, we need to have a live and let live attitude, because that's what freedom is, as long as we don't hurt somebody else. And I'm not, by hurt, I'm not talking about offending them because they looked at something that they didn't agree with. That's not what I mean by hurt. Those are just ideas that are there, and people can choose whether they want to look at them or not. As I choose not to look at many things. I choose not to look at CNN and a whole bunch of the major networks and the major news media. I choose to pay more attention to alternative media, and I don't agree with everything that I see on the alternative media either, because I think for myself. And to ban ideas, to me, is a crime against humanity, a crime against free thinkers. And they want to actually criminalize, some of the leaders want to criminalize free thinking. They do not want anybody to pursue ideas that are outside the limits of their control grid. And they, again, I don't like this us and they stuff. Get that straight. I don't really like doing that, but I don't know how else to talk about it, because there is an agenda, and it's a dark agenda. And to me, it needs to be exposed for what it is. It's not something that is beneficial for humanity. It's beneficial for only for those that want to decrease the human population and control the thinking and perception of the humans that are allowed to be alive and allowed to succeed in life financially. And, you know, there's just so many things that I look at and think about. And I'm sure there are a lot of people like me that are questioning why are so-called authorities in universities and in corporate structures and in our government, why are they so hell-bent on getting everybody on the same page? What is their agenda? To me, it's a dark agenda. It's an evil purpose. Everything is inverted and twisted to suit the idea that we somehow have to be programmed so that we can follow the path that certain aspects of our human culture, which to me is demonic in some respects, but the direction that they're trying to take us and enslave us more and more and more, till all that's left is a world of slaves. And now we're not talking now about race, we're talking about humanity being enslaved by demonic elements. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.